I don't use them myself. I like personal contact.
You go in Aldi, and there's only one regular check.
That 5 below,
Yeah.
there's one manned check station.
Okay, being it's 4:30, we'll convene the hearing. The City of Freeport Electoral Board with the hearing agenda set for December 12th, 2022 at City Hall, City of Freeport, Illinois, in East Conference Room at 314 West Stephenson Street. It is now 4:30.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aaron Zito, and I'm the attorney for the City of Freeport Electoral Board. Please let the record reflect that Joe Shelton has filed an objection to the petition papers filed by Arthur Ross, candidate for the office of 3rd Ward Alderman of the City of Freeport, Illinois. The objection was filed on December 5th, 2022. Notice of the objection was duly provided to the chairman of the City of Freeport Electoral Board, Jody Miller, and the candidate, Arthur Ross, before noon on December 7th, 2022, as required by statute. Due notice of this hearing today was given to the Electoral Board members, the objector, and the candidate. This hearing is being held no less than 3, but no more than 5 days from the receipt of the objection by the chairman of the Electoral Board. Next on the agenda is to identify the Electoral Board members. The Electoral Board is comprised of the mayor of the City of Freeport, Jody Miller, City Clerk, W. Anderson, and then the most senior alderman, which would be Patrick Busker. Attorney Miller, I understand that you have an objection.
Yes, pursuant to 10 ILCS 5/10-9, due to the fact that objections in the previous proceeding are identical to some of the objections in this proceeding, we ask that Mr. Busker be recused, as any ruling would be identical to the previous case.
Understood. In light of the objection and the fact that state statute does provide a mechanism that in the event one of the board members is disqualified from serving on the board, that the next most senior alderman would then serve in their place. The next most senior alderman is Alderman Parker. Do you have an objection to Alderman Parker serving on the board?
No.
Okay. Mr. Ross, do you have an objection, Mr. Parker serving on the board? Mr. Parker, do you have any objection to serving?
No, no problem.
Thank you. So then the board will be constituted as the mayor, the clerk, and then Alderman Parker as the second most senior serving alderman, excuse me. So next on the agenda is to approve the rules of procedure and distribute copies. I have copies of the rules here with, we'll go ahead and put one amendment in there to include a provision that any minutes of these proceedings can be approved by signature of all the board members, so that we don't have to wait until the next set of electoral board hearings to approve the minutes. I will distribute copies to council and to down to Mr. Ross, and then to each of the electoral board members, and then to the clerk. It would be appropriate now for a motion to approve the rules of procedure with the added change that I will add a provision that the minutes of these proceedings can be approved by signature of all the board members. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. Do you need to sign it then too?
Yes. So I'll have you sign the copy that will go to the clerk.
So we will call the case Joe Shelton versus Arthur Ross, case number 2022 EV02.
So I'll ask for any appearances next. Jamel, you already filed your appearance with me. Mr. Ross, you have also filed your appearance, so we have those on record. They'll be available at the clerk's office if anybody would like a copy of those. Next would be any preliminary motions. Jamel, do you anticipate any preliminary motions to be filed?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Ross, do you anticipate filing any preliminary motions, like a motion to strike or anything like that?
Yeah.
No, okay. No. So no preliminary motions. Next then is to try to determine the number of exhibits and witnesses so that we can try to figure out a time frame for how much time to allocate for the actual hearing when we have it. Attorney Miller?
Our exhibits are already pre-attached to our objection. The only question is how the board would like to proceed on out-of-district signatures. I've seen that done through judicial notice, I've seen that done through the clerk's office, it's whatever the panel's preference is for voters who are outside of the primary ward.
As far as evidence of that
Yes, yeah.
taking,
You can take, I can bring in Google Maps, you can take judicial notice, all of those are considered
I
appropriate.
think, my experience is that typically whatever, we'll leave it to the objector to present evidence, whether it be that or, records from the clerk's office or.
We'll provide that.
Do you anticipate any
I won't have any
witnesses?
witnesses. No.
Okay. Mr. Ross, do you anticipate calling any witnesses on your behalf?
Not at this time.
Okay. Do you anticipate having some documentation, paperwork that would support your position?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you know roughly how many separate pieces of documents?
Maybe, we'll say about at least 7.
Okay, all right. In light of the number of exhibits and witnesses, again, I don't think that there's a reason why this would go beyond an hour and a half either necessarily there. So, as with the last hearing, does that Monday, December 19th date work for everybody?
Yeah, my only question is, can it be subject to the end of the first hearing, so that way we don't have to sit around for an hour?
I believe so.
Yes, we can have that.
Okay.
That's fine.
So tentatively, we're gonna say 2:30? And could be
Yeah.
sooner, depending on, okay.
And I think procedurally, the only rule with that is on the next notice, if you send one out, it just has to say.
Say that.
Yeah,
Yep.
that way the public's alerted.
All right. So then next, Mayor would be number 5.
Is there any public comments? Seeing none, we will move to recess to December 19th, 2022 at approximately 2:30 PM.
Or as soon
Or-
after as case number 2022 EB1 concludes.
And that will be here at City Hall in Conference Room East unless we notify that it's in another location.
Is there a motion to recess?
I would
the
make
session?
that motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. Okay, we will see everyone next Monday.
Thank you, Kevin.